are perhaps happening already. And Dobby cannot let Harry Potter stay here now the history is repeating itself. Now that the Chamber of Secrets is open once more. Dobby froze, horror-struck, then grabbed Harry's water jug from his bedside table and cracked it on his own head, toppling out of sight. A second later, he crawled back on the bed, crossed eyes muttering, "Bad Dobby, very bad Dobby." "So there is a Chamber of Secrets," Harry whispered. "And did you say it opened before? Tell me, Dobby." He seized the elf's bunny wrist, and Dobby hand inched toward the water jug. "But I'm not Morgan-born. How can I be in danger from the chamber?" Sir, ask no more of poor Dobby," stammered the elf, his eyes huge in the dark. "Dark deeds are planned in the place, but Harry Potter must not be here when they happen. Go home, Harry Potter, go home." "Harry Potter must not meddle in this, sir. This is too dangerous." "Who is it, Dobby?" Harry said, keeping a firm hold in Dobby's wrist, stopped him from hitting himself with a water jar again. "Who's opened it? Who's opened it last time?" "Dobby can't, sir, Dobby can't. Dobby mustn't tell," squealed the elf. "Go home, Harry Potter, go home." "I'm not going anywhere," said Harry fiercely. "One of my best friends is Muggle-born. She'll be first in the line if the chamber really has been opened." "Harry Potter risked his own life for his friend," mourned Dobby in a kind of miserable ecstasy. "It's so noble, so valiant. But he must save himself. He must. Harry Potter must not." Dobby suddenly froze, his bed shears quivering. Harry heard it. There was footsteps coming down the passage outway. "Dobby must go," breathed the elf, terrified. There was a loud crack, and Harry's fist was soundly chanted on thin air. He slumped back into bed, his eyes on the dark doorway to the hospital wing as the footsteps drew nearer. Next moment, Dumbledore was backing into the dormitory, wearing a long woolly dressing gown and a nightcap. He was carrying one end of what looked like a statue. Professor McGonagall appeared a second later, carrying its feet. Together they heaved it on a bed. "Get Madame Pomfrey," whispered Dumbledore, and Professor McGonagall hurried past the end of Harry's bed out of sight. Harry lay quite still, pretending to be asleep. He heard urgent voices, and then Professor McGonagall swept back in view, closely followed by Madame Pomfrey, who was pulling a cardigan on over her night dress. He heard a sharp mistake of breath. "What happened?" Madame Pomfrey whispered to Dumbledore, bending over the statue on the bed. "Another attack," said Dumbledore. "Minerva found him on the stairs." "There was a bunch of grapes next to him," said Professor McGonagall. "We think he was trying to sneak up here to visit Potter." Harry's stomach gave a horrible lurch. Slowly and carefully, he raised himself a few inches so he could look at the statue on the bed. A ray of moonlight lay across its staring face. It was Colin Creevey. His eyes were wide and his hands were stuck up in front of him, holding his camera. "Petrified?" whispered Madame Pomfrey. "Yeah," said Professor McGonagall, but I shudder to think. If Albus hadn't been on the way downstairs for hot chocolate, who'd know what might have? The three of them stared down at Colin. The Dumbledore leaned forward and wedged the camera out of Colin's trigger grip. You don't think he managed to get a picture of his attack? Said Professor McGonagall eagerly. Dumbledore didn't answer. He opened the bag of camera. Good gracious, said Madame Pomfrey. A jet of steam has hissed out of the camera. Harry, 3 bats away, caught the earthy smell of burnt plastic. Melted, said Madame Pomfrey wonderingly. Oh, melted. What does that mean, Albus? Professor McGonagall asked urgently. It means, said Dumbledore, that the Chamber of Secrets is indeed open again. Madame Pomfrey clapped a hand on her mouth. Professor McGonagall stared at Dumbledore. But Albus, surely, who? The question is not who, said Dumbledore, his eyes on Colin. The question is how. And from what Harry could see of Professor McGonagall's shadowy faces, she didn't understand this any better than he did. Chapter 10, The Rogue Bludger is ended. Bye-bye, everyone.